So to get the skirt started, we're going to grab our category 3 yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 4mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that's long enough to fit around our hips. And for me, that's 35 inches. And once we have our chain, we are going to connect it to the other end. But before we do that, we're just going to run our thumb along the chain, making sure that it's all facing one direction. And once when you know that our chain is facing one direction, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook into the first loop that we have. And we're going to connect it with a slip stitch. So go ahead and yarn over, pull through both loops. And from here, we're going to be doing rows of double crochet. So go ahead and chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going back around our chain. And once we make it around with our first row of double crochet, we're going to connect it. And we first did a chain of 3, so we're going to count up that chain. We're going to count up to 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and insert your hook into that chain with a slip stitch. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to be double crocheting all the way around once in every loop again. And I'm going to keep doing this until my band reaches 2 inches. Once we're done with our band, we're going to do more rows of double crochet. So go ahead and chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to be working in the front loops only. So instead of going through both loops like we usually do, we're just going to be going in through the first one. And we're going to be doing that for all of our double crochet that we do, and we're also going to be increasing in every 15. So we just did 14 double crochet, including the chain 3 that we did. So from here, we're going to double crochet twice into the 15th one, going into the front loops only. Double crochet 1 and 2, and we're going to continue doing this pattern all the way around where we increase in the 15th loop, going in the front loops only. Once when you're finished with your row of double crocheting in the front loops only and increasing in every 15th double crochet, now we're going to connect with a slip stitch. So the first thing that we did in the last row was a chain of 3, so we're going to count up 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and insert your hook into that third chain and connect with a slip stitch. And from here, we're just going to be doing rows of double crochet, no increases, no decreases. So go ahead and chain up 3. And instead of going the same direction that we were, we're going to flip our work and go back the opposite direction. And you'll see why we did this in a little bit. Go ahead and do this until you have a size of 2.5 inches. Once we're done doing our rows of solid double crochet, we should have 4.5 inches. And then from here, we're going to lay down our work flat, and we're going to indicate where the opposite end is. So we're currently working in this end. So go ahead and count everything out and make sure that all the measurements are the same and put a marker on the opposite end. From here, we're going to chain up 3, flip our work to work back down the way that we came just like before. And then we're going to be putting 1 double crochet all the way down into every single loop until we meet this marker. Now that we've double crocheted all the way down to our marker, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. Flip our work, and then we're going to double crochet back down until we get to the end. And then from here, go ahead and chain up 3 and keep repeating that until you have 5 inches. And once we're done with our 5-inch block of just solid double crochet, we're going to chain up 1 and cut. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to do the same exact thing that we did on this side, but we're going to start it on the opposite end that we haven't done anything on yet. So we're going to take our hook, insert it into the next loop, make a slip knot, and from here we're going to chain up 3, and this counts as a double crochet. And go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going back down until you meet this end. And from here, go ahead and chain up 3, and then keep going back and forth until you have another block of 5 inches. So we just finished our second block of solid double crochet. Now we need to connect the corners together. And since our hook is already in this corner, we're just going to take this, insert it into the corner that's right next to it, yarn over, pull through, then we're going to yarn over, chain 1 to secure, and cut. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so go ahead and insert your hook into this corner and also into the next corner. Grab your yarn, make a slip knot, and go ahead and pull it through both pieces that we have on our hook, and chain 1 and pull to secure. So since we've connected our pockets, what we're going to do now is go ahead and chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet once into the next 14 loops. So now that we have 1 double crochet into 14 loops, in the 15th loop we're going to do an increase, so go ahead and yarn over and do 2 double crochet into the 15th loop. And we're going to keep increasing like that for the rest of this row. So we just finished our double crochet row of where we increase in every 15. Now we're going to do 2 more rows of the same. So we're going to chain up 3, double crochet into every loop that we have, but instead of increasing in every 15th loop, we're going to increase in every 25th loop. So now that we're done with those last 2 rows where we increased on the 25th loops, now we're just going to chain 1, flip our work, and we're going to do rows of regular double crochet, nothing fancy, so no increases or decreases in there. And we're going to do this until it reaches about mid-thigh. So this is what we have so far. We have the full body of the skirt, and then we have open pockets that we haven't put anything in yet. But from here, now we're going to work on a little detail. We're going to be working on a row of net. So from here, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then we're also going to chain up 3 on top of that. So we just chained up 6 in total. Go ahead and prepare for a double crochet. And from here, we're going to count out 4 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and insert your hook into that 4th loop with a double crochet. And here is our first net. And from here, we're going to chain out 3. Prepare for another double crochet, count out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, insert your hook into that 4th loop with a double crochet, and keep doing that for 1 row all the way around. So we just made it to the end of our row of net. Now we just have to connect it. So remember when we did our first chain of 6, now we're going to count up 3, 1, 2, 3, remember that was our double crochet. Go ahead and insert your hook into that 3rd loop and connect with a slip stitch. And from here we're going to do 1 more row of net, so go ahead and chain up 6. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, and we're just going to double crochet once into the double crochet in the last row. And then from here, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do the same thing for the rest of this row, connecting it the same way that we just did. Now once we have our 2 rows of net, now we're going to do 2 rows of solid double crochet. So go ahead and chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going all the way around. Once when we get to the end, slip stitch, chain up 3, and then we're going to flip our work, double crochet, going back the way that we came. Once we're done with our 2 rows of double crochet, now we're just going to do 1 more row of net. So go ahead and chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. Chain up another 3, so 6 in total. Prepare for a double crochet, count out 4, insert your hook with that double crochet. And then from here, keep doing this all the way around. Once when you get to the end, go ahead and slip stitch into the 3rd loop from the hook. So we just got done with our last row of net, and the last thing that we have to do is do 1 row of single crochet going back down. So go ahead and chain up 1, flip your work, and go ahead and just put 1 single crochet into every loop that we have. And then once we meet all the way back around, slip stitch and cut. So we just got done doing our row of single crochet along the bottom, and what we're going to do now is work on the pockets. So from here, what you're going to do is pick a pocket, it doesn't matter which one. You're going to grab your hook, and then you're going to insert it into one of these edges that we have. And then from here, we're going to grab our yarn, make a slip knot. We're going to pull that slip knot through that loop that we're in, chain 1 to secure. And from here, we're just going to be doing a row of single crochet around the edge of this pocket to clean it up. And then since we're working in the sides of each of these double crochets, we're going to be putting 2 single crochet into each of the loops that we have. 1 and 2. So go ahead and do 2 single crochet into every side double crochet that we have, and then once when you get to the end, slip stitch the edges together. So we just got done putting 2 single crochet into every side double crochet that we have, and from here we're going to count out how many we have, but we're not going to count the entire circle, we're just going to count 1/2. And so from this edge to this edge, for me, I have 22. So now we can put this away, go ahead and keep that number in mind. We're going to grab our yarn, and then whatever your number is, we're going to make a chain that is that length minus 2. So since mine is 22, I'm going to be making a chain of 20. Once we have our chain, go ahead and block off that last chain. Chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and double crochet into that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th chain from the hook. And then from here, we're just going to double crochet once into every loop that we have. So once when we double crocheted once into every loop that we had, we're going to prepare for a double crochet. And in this last loop, we're going to be doing an increase of 2. So since we already have 1 double crochet in here, we leave that. Then we're just going to double crochet 1 more time into that last loop. And from here, we're going to prepare for another double crochet, and then we're going to be going into the next loop with another double crochet. And this is going to start forming the pockets. And then your work is going to start curling up like this. That is perfect. That's what's supposed to happen. So go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going back down. Once we made it to the end, we're going to do another increase at this end. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet. Go ahead and increase into that last loop that we have. And from here, we're going to slip stitch it together. So go ahead and count out 1, 2, 3 in our original chain 3. Go ahead and insert your hook with a slip stitch. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3. And then we're just going to be putting 1 double crochet into every loop that we have, going back around. Once when you get back around, go ahead and connect with a slip stitch. And keep doing that until you get the pocket size that you want. I'm going to keep going until I have 4 inches. So once when we have the bulk of our pocket done, we're now going to be working it so that it curves up a little bit. So from here, there's not going to be an actual number. You're just going to eyeball it and you're going to section everything off into 3s. So for the first half, we're going to do single crochet. In the middle, it's going to be half double crochet. And then in the last half, it's going to be double crochet. So let's get started on that. We're going to chain up 1. And then we're going to do single crochets until it gets to the point where you decided to do half double crochets. And then keep doing that until you get to where you want to start your double crochets as well. And then once when you have this part done, we're going to continue on. So we're going to keep going around the corner with double crochets. And then this section is going to be half double crochets. And then this is going to be single crochets. Once we make it to the end, go ahead and connect it with a slip stitch. And then we're going to do it one more time. So once when we're done making our pocket, what we're going to do is now connect it. And so from here, the net is going to stay on the bottom. And then where the pocket has the peak that gets higher, that one's going to be closer to the top because you're going to want the pocket to go down at an angle, so whenever you put something in, it doesn't come out. But with that being said, we're going to take our work and then we're going to connect it with a single crochet. So go ahead and insert your hook into the pocket first and also into the same corner of the skirt. Take your hook, make a slip knot, and from here we're going to single crochet to secure it. So once when you're here, you're going to insert your hook in through the pocket and also in through the skirt, and then you're going to single crochet it all the way down. So once we're done connecting our pocket, this is what the skirt looks like, and this is where the pocket is. We're going to do this one more time on the other side. So now that we have both of our pockets, the last things that we need to do is weave in our ends, and then make a chain that's long enough to weave in and out to make the drawstring, and mine is going to be roughly 45 inches. So once when you made your chain, we're going to insert it onto our tapestry needle, or you can use your hook, whatever you have. And from here, we're going to figure out where the middle is. Go ahead and insert your tapestry needle, and I'm going to weave this out in and out of every 4 double crochet that we have. So here's 4. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Go behind and keep alternating every 4 double crochet until you get back around. Once when you're done weaving in all the ends, this is our finished piece. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. And you can also follow me on both Instagram and Twitter, both at TCDDIY. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.